Pine in Texas. So really grateful for you all for joining today. And as Susan mentioned, if you can share in the chat where you're joining from, name, etc., and what you're kind of hoping to learn from today's training. I had just a little background about me. I ran a social media account for the Massachusetts chapter of the National Organization for Women, so Mass Now for short, and we really grew our platform during 2020, or at the beginning of COVID in 2020, in a way that I think could be really useful in understanding how to continue doing that in these spaces. So again, welcome and thank you for joining, and I'm going to try not to breeze through too many of these things, but Susan, how would you like for people to ask questions?
Most of these, I think they can just, do you mean like, are they allowed to interrupt or
Yeah, would you like for folks to put it in the chat? I don't know, at Swing Left, we typically like to say we're going to stack it, right? And we want people to let us know when they have a question in the chat.
Yeah, I think given the time constraints, if they can put it in the chat and then, you can get to the end of what you're talking about and then do it, that would be great.
Okay, great. Sounds good. Okay, so just really briefly, the goals of today's training: really learn how to use Instagram as a digital tool to maximize your impact and grow your membership, as well as learn how to use social media to recruit and engage new volunteers. So yes, grow your membership, but engage and volunteers the entire way in that process. So Instagram. At Swing Left, we say we love social media because it's just another easy and quick way to reach your intended audience. But specifically with Instagram, what's so fun about it, and I heard someone earlier had mentioned their favorite platform is Twitter, where you can post your thoughts and everything. But Instagram is fun because you get to post videos and pictures and other graphics, curated content and graphics to really get your point across. So an example that I've seen other folks do is that, you're at a rally, you're at a march, and you want to video live it or whatever. Not only you're going to be on Facebook Live, but you can also be on Instagram Live. And because the two intertwine, it's a great tool to have on your Instagram Live and have on your Facebook Live and be able to keep it posted in both places. So Instagram and Facebook are obviously owned by the same company, Meta, Facebook, whatever you want to call it. And so they definitely speak or talk to one another. So at times, if you're posting something on your Instagram, you also have the option to post it on your Facebook as well. And so on here, we've also mentioned other platforms that we enjoy. Sorry, I've got to move this so I can see everybody's face. But the next piece of this is Instagram. And I don't want to get too much into the nitty gritty, but we want to make it appealing. And we also want to be sharing things that matter to us and to our group and to our following. And so this example that we have from Swing Left on the right. So this is our Swing Left national page. And, we have different postings from folks across the country, and some of them are blurbs, some of them are just pictures of people, as you can see with this middle one, and then some of them are just like politicals and fact checking, right? Like maybe you live in a state where you have a candidate who is telling blatant lies, and you have another candidate who's posting fact checking those lies. You can always repost that information. And so Instagram's a great place because people love pictures. Of course, the whole idea of don't judge a book by its cover. Instagram is the book and it is the cover. You are judging based on that Instagram. But it doesn't mean that it's not a good place to be. It just means that we really want to make sure we're sharing the most accurate and up-to-date information. And so not only do we want to make sure that the grid is appealing and it looks nice, but we want to post different types of content, like I mentioned. So quote graphics, politicos, high quality images, and graphics. Who here enjoys taking selfies or taking pictures with your grandkids, taking pictures of nature, just stuff outdoors? Maybe raise a hand or raise the hand on Zoom. Okay, I see you, Julie. Thank you. Great. Those are the pictures that we want to get posted on Instagram, and not the ones of your grandchildren, just be clear, but the ones that you're actually taking, the ones where you are actually doing a letter writing event and you take a nice solid picture of folks with their permission. Of course, that's the whole thing, is we want consent here. But you actually get a picture of people doing this work that we know is very important to us. Those are the pictures that we want on this Instagram. And so I also included down here about how there are other ways that you can capture people with like links in your bio. And we don't have to get into that tonight, but if you find that you really want to start an Instagram page and you're growing this base or this following, and you want to lead them maybe to like your fundraiser page, you can create a link tree, which is free, and it allows you to link to specific pages. So if you have a Blueprint page, which I don't know if anybody knows what Blueprint is, but Blueprint is a great tool to use for fundraising. You can link it directly from your Instagram to your Blueprint page, but you never want to put links in captions because people can't click links in the caption. So you can click a hashtag, and I think that's what we're going to probably talk about next. But you can't click a link. So we don't want to put links in the caption. Lastly, when it comes to Instagram, we really want to utilize it as event promotion, if at all possible. So, I'm seeing some things in the chat, and I've just been, okay, nope, it's just you all saying hi, which thank you. Okay, and so we want to utilize Instagram as an event promotion as well. And so again, going back to your hosting a letter writing event, or you're canvassing somewhere, let people know where you're going to be prior to you actually going to that canvassing event. So if you're running a group page for Swing Blue Alliance and you know that you're going to be canvassing in New Hampshire next month, try to get a graphic created if you have someone who can create a graphic, and then post it on your Instagram with a date so people know that you're going to be Swing Blue Alliance is going to be canvassing in New Hampshire in June. And it's a great way for people to mark their calendars, get it, stay up to date with when and where that's going to be happening, and then to follow the entire process. So Swing Blue Alliance is going to be canvassing in June in New Hampshire. I know that. I'm going to follow them. And then in June, Swing Blue Alliance is also going to update me again to let me know that they're going to be canvassing on this exact date. I'm going to come. Swing Blue Alliance is now posting pictures and videos on their story, letting me know how canvassing is going, how exciting it is. And I'm excited to be here. And so as a person who is engaging with your Instagram platform, it's an encouraging way to create community, to feel as though you are somewhere that you might physically not be. So I don't know how many folks attended a Bands Off Our Body rally or march last weekend, but some of those were live streamed. Some of those we had quote graphics posted on Planned Parenthood Instagram accounts, on Mass Now Instagram accounts, and we're able to feel as though we are part of that community, even though we weren't physically able to be there. And so I think Instagram is a really great way to build accessibility into your group's work without having to physically be present. Are there any questions about that one specifically? Okay. I'll continue. Okay, so back to the event promotion. I really want to utilize this slide to talk a little bit about hashtags. So how many of us know what a hashtag is? Nope. Some of us? Okay, great. So for those who don't, a hashtag is a great way to, wow, I'm realizing I'm trying to figure out how to describe a hashtag right now, but a hashtag is a great tool to use to keep something in one area. So I'm going to utilize this one example. Hopefully this doesn't get lost on people, but Texas Ledge or Mapoli, so Massachusetts Political, so Mapoli, MAPOLI, is a hashtag that people use when we're talking about the Massachusetts legislature, when we're talking about the Massachusetts House, when we're talking about Massachusetts congressional districts, etc. That is one hashtag that people will use to encompass a lot of this work. So Mapoli might be a hashtag that's used, as well as like hashtag Boston or hashtag Massachusetts legislature. What we really encourage, and I don't know if I'm trying to read this. I don't know if it's completely correct to hear with what Swing Left would encourage, but what I would encourage folks to do is to create and find a hashtag and be consistent in that hashtag. So if you are, again, I'm picking on Swing Blue Alliance here, but seriously doing amazing work. And so if Swing Blue Alliance created a hashtag, which is hashtag Swing Blue Alliance, if it wasn't already taken, hopefully it's not already taken, they can use that hashtag in all of their posts, and folks can click on that hashtag on their in the comment or in the description of the picture, and they can follow that hashtag. So sometimes people don't even have an Instagram page, but they'll have a hashtag that other folks have tagged them in. And a good example of this is JP Progressives, so Jamaica Plain Progressives, does not have an Instagram page, but they have a hashtag JP Progressives. And so if you are interested in what JP Progressives is doing, you can follow that hashtag, if not their Facebook page, and be kept up to date in that way. But in addition to that, it's also a really great way for other folks to engage with, in this instance, JP Progressives or Swing Blue Alliance. So if me, Bria, posts an Instagram picture of this training today, I'm going to say, this is a great training, everyone should join and participate. I'm going to hashtag Swing Blue Alliance. And if you, Susan, Julie, Lisa, or Victoria were like, hey, I wanted to see how that training went, let me go see if I can find Swing Blue Alliance's Instagram page, Facebook page, whatever it might be. Oh, and they have this hashtag of Swing Blue Alliance. Let me check out what other posts they have. And I can scroll through those Instagram posts, or those Instagram posts and those markings. And again, great way to feel as though you are a part of a community, even though you might not physically be present. And so I encourage folks to have a consistent hashtag in your caption, in addition to actually tagging people and groups in your Instagram pictures. I'll pause there for any questions about hashtags before I get into tagging folks and pictures. Anyone have any questions? Great. So we're on Instagram, where you can also, which you can also access on a desktop if you were curious. And clearly I do a lot of work in Massachusetts, so please do not look at this search. But if we wanted to look at a hashtag, JP Progressives, please, Laura, let me spell progressives hypothetically here. Okay, so if we're looking at JP Progressives, again, this is the hashtag, and again, shout out to JP Progressives for being amazing. I'm sure they actually do have an Instagram page. It's just not titled exactly this, but we can see that there are folks who have tagged this hashtag in different posts. So RTCV Boston posted this because there was a District 6 City Council candidate forum last year. I believe that was last year. Yeah, last year. There was a JP Progressives event held, and this goes back as far as 2018. And so this is what I mean by a hashtag is a really great tool to use, because we can keep history in it, but we can also use it as a way to keep in community with other folks. So utilizing the hashtag JP Progressives to really showcase what we're doing out here. Or an example would be Swing Blue Alliance as well. And another example of a good hashtag, which would be Swing Left. And so we see that Swing Left has over 10,000 hashtags or postings in this hashtag, I should say, which is funny. And so we have people who are posting that they voted, Vote Save America. I'm probably listening to a podcast and doing some needlework. This is probably also not the best example, but still we see that there are a lot of different things happening in this hashtag that we can keep up to date with. So again, letter writing, we have some Vote Forward letter writing here, and they use the hashtag Swing Left, so we can see what other folks are doing across the country when we look at this Swing Left hashtag. And then if we go to your question of what is the difference between a hashtag and an @ a hashtag is, or let me not say hashtag, an @ is actual person or group. So we have Swing Left, And this is going to be the Swing Left National page when we type the @sign. So just like on Facebook, when you want to tag your daughter, your son, your grandchild, whoever it might be, and I'm wearing that t-shirt right there. When you want to tag people, you hit that button and then you start typing their name. Just the same, you're going to do that on Instagram as well. And so when we go to Swing Left, we can see, again, this is a great example of how we really want to set up our Instagram page to be engaging and to really capture people's attention and be visually appealing. So we have, again, politicos, we have quote graphics, we have, we know that there's a Big Send kickoff we knew that there was a Big Send kickoff for May 12th, and we were able to know that because Swing Left kept this piece updated in their Instagram. And so
this will be the equivalent of the Facebook group page, right? It's similar in that respect, right? This is a Facebook group page, except this is a lot more visual. You have a lot more you can put on the same page here. Lots of
and also on like a Facebook group page, anybody within reason can post on it if an admin approves. Whereas on an Instagram page, there's only typically one user. If you have a verified account, you might have multiple users, but I don't see anybody here having a verified account anytime soon. And so typically it's going to be one user. And I would just recommend that user is the admin, and it is the person who has who is most comfortable with securing important information. So
okay.
you don't want
I see. So there's a sort of a person whose sort of a job is to post on that. It's like it's like an admin in Facebook. Whereas at Facebook, anybody can post if the rights is there, right?
Yes, pretty much. And the other thing to note about Instagram is not only do we want to curate and only have one person posting, we want to curate posts as well. So Instagram, the algorithm is kind of finicky. You want to remain pretty consistent with it once you get started. And so maybe posting once a week, twice a week, or scheduling posts to have throughout a month maybe. So I'm thinking about how June is Pride Month. Maybe you want to have like 4 different Pride posts. You don't want to post all 4 of those Pride posts at one time. Although I love all good Pride posts, right? But you probably want to space those out so you're not overwhelming the algorithm, and the algorithm will kind of kick you out. So that's the tricky part about Instagram. And I'm not the best pro on this algorithm because I swear it changes like all the time. But my biggest advice would be to remain consistent. So if you're going to post once a week, that's great. Also consider posting on your Instagram story, if not once a day, every other day. And I'll get started about the story here in a minute. But I wanted to go to, this is crazy because I can't see any comments. I wanted to show you this post because I thought there would be hashtags or something on this, but I don't think I can see. Oh, here we go. Go to post. Okay, here we go. So Swing Left has this post that says the GOP's racist rhetoric, et cetera, which is accurate. And then we have the caption, which is help defeat the GOP at the link in our bio. And so it's very concise, it's very direct, and it lets people know what their direct action can be. And so if you have a new volunteer or member who found you on Instagram, let's say, and they're seeing that you have an event coming up. Again, if you're Swing Blue Alliance and you are canvassing next month, they see that you're canvassing next month. What else can they learn? And they click the post, and it's like, maybe it says, DM us for canvassing location, or check out the link in our bio, become a member to receive updated information. And that's how concise we want to be in our captions. And then maybe from there, we throw in some, can't see it. Maybe from there, we throw in some hashtags, because Swing Left is a notable brand. And so, they're verified with that little blue check mark, but like us normal folks are not verified with that blue check mark. And so we want to be able to put those hashtags in our caption to capture a wide audience. And a good example of this, because I'm trying to give you as many examples as possible here. I don't know how many of you love a good bookstore, but I love All She Wrote, and it is in Massachusetts. Hopefully you check it out sometime. It's in Somerville. All right, All She Wrote books. And I apologize to those who are watching this recording and thinking, why is she talking about a bookstore? But this is a really great example of someone who's not verified, has a good following, and utilizes captions and hashtags to garner attention. So again, a concise caption. This Tuesday is a fire one, and we're excited about the stacks upon stacks of new books we have for you to browse. And then all these hashtags, which are fully vetted probably for other people to find. So I am an avid reader, and I tag Bookish all the time. And Bookish, if I see that All She Wrote tagged it, I'm going to be like, oh, I didn't know that All She Wrote existed. Let me go click on their page. And I'm able to do that just from seeing this hashtag pop up on my feed. I'm going to pause for 1 minute. Was there any questions about captions and hashtags now that we're seeing it in real time?
Bria, I had a question, just to clarify, even though, because I'm not verified, so even if I'm using the Swing Blue Alliance account, I should still use the hashtag Swing Blue Alliance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you should. And you can see that because they still use the hashtag All She Wrote books.
I have a quick question. You probably said it, I missed it.
That's okay.
Verified means you're approved. What's the difference like between being verified and not verified?
Yep. So Instagram is finicky. Yes, I can demonstrate as well. Instagram is finicky, and they will verify people who have a certain amount of following. So I believe the threshold, don't quote me. I think it might be 10,000. That's probably not entirely true. I know people with 10,000. It's a pretty high threshold of followers in order to be verified. But even sometimes you can have that threshold of followers and Instagram will still be like, we don't want to verify you. So that's what I mean by it's kind of finicky, and even the algorithm is finicky in identifying who to verify. Is that helpful?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. And so I had seen the question in the chat, can you just demonstrate inserting a post with a hashtag? Yes, I can, but I cannot post it.
I have a question on this one before you leave.
Yep.
So this All She Wrote books, they hashtag what, a dozen hashtags. So the idea here is all these hashtags, whatever, book over, whatever, all these different groups will see this post. Is that right? Once you hashtag them, everybody who's in that hashtag community, I guess, will also see this post.
Yeah, and so a good example of that is if I click young adult books,
okay,
I'm an avid reader and I really want to follow this hashtag young adult books. And anyone who uses this hashtag can, obviously be part of this hashtag community here, but I can also follow it. So I hit that follow button, and now in my home screen, which I won't click on it because it'll just confuse people, but in my home screen, I can scroll and I'll see a hashtag young adult books. And now I'm being introduced to something new. So I didn't know that Sadie Starr's Guide to Starting Over was a book that was coming out, but it's now on my home screen, and I'm going to click it and follow it to whatever page that might be. And so for this example here, I click it and I'm followed to Miranda Luby. No idea who this person is, but I'm sure, it's the author of the book. Terrible. And so now I'm on the author's or on the author's Instagram page, and I can follow the author and stay up to date with other books and whatnot that are coming out. Or in this case, I can follow Swing Blue Alliance and stay up to date with other canvassing events that might be happening in my area.
So if I were to, again, to understand, if I were to add in hashtag Swing Blue Alliance, let's say, right? Mm-hmm. Am I going to assume that Swing Blue Alliance, people who follow Swing Blue Alliance will see my post?
No, I don't think you should assume that. I think what you will probably find is that other people who hashtag Swing Blue Alliance are typically going to follow that hashtag so they can stay up to date with other folks who are posting in there.
Isn't that what he just said?
Oh, is that what you said? I wouldn't assume that people would. It's not like Facebook where it's a group at this point. It's like following a friend who follows a friend. But now instead of having to follow that second friend, you just kind of see some of their stuff at times.
But if you tag somebody, the person you tag will see that you've tagged them.
Okay. So if I tag Swing Blue Alliance, when do you say, oh, the person who's managing Swing Blue Alliance will see it?
Yes. Yes, and then from there, I would encourage Swing Blue Alliance to repost things that are tagged and appropriate onto their page. So if you are tagging Swing Blue Alliance at a letter writing event, Swing Blue Alliance
Right.
is going to really want to post that and say, look, we have this member who's doing awesome work writing letters. Check them out. And
Okay.
they'll be able to see that. Yep.
Bria, though, you can't actually share posts in the same way that you can share on Twitter or Facebook, right? You'd have to repost somehow.
Repost it. Yeah, Lisa, look at you. You're on it.
Well, that's one of the reasons I use Twitter instead. It's easier to just click on something and share it. It's harder to do on Instagram.
I will say it is a little bit harder to do. A cheat code is to probably screenshot it. It's not the prettiest thing to do. So I would encourage folks to download the Repost app, or if you're really committed to, or not committed, if you're really interested, make sure that you are tagged in that post, and then you can not easily repost it, but you can easily find it in order to screenshot and repost it. But yes, Lisa, like you mentioned, you do have to download a whole separate app in order to repost something. And when I say repost, I mean, I can't take this picture and post it on my Instagram page as Swing Blue Alliance. I can send myself this picture, or I'm sorry, I can send myself this post and have it readily available. Or I can screenshot this post and post it on my Swing Blue Alliance page if I didn't want to repost it with the app.
So
Well, wait. I think Rose wanted to is it possible to demonstrate inserting a posting with a hashtag?
Yeah, do you want to go into that now?
Oh, I don't know. It's just that was the next question. Sorry.
I can demonstrate that. And I think I heard somebody else beginning to talk. I cannot find a good picture.
And Doug, you can put your question in the chat. That'd be great.
sure.
I'm trying to find a decent picture for you all. I have so many of my dog and not too many of things that I do. I feel like
Screenshot this, screenshot us and post that.
oh yeah, that'd be great. Okay, so I found a good picture, and so I'll resume sharing. All right, so this is a picture from vacation I just got back from. Yes, I took this. It's very pretty. And so if I wanted to post this picture, I would want to make sure that I'm cropping this appropriately. So if I wanted to make sure that, this, I don't actually know what they called it, but that building in the back was there. I want to make sure it's the focal point. So Instagram gives you these lines to ensure that that is in the middle the way you want it to be. You can also zoom in, etc. The same way that you would with a Facebook picture. I will say with Instagram, you want to make sure that you're taking pictures on your phone in a square. And so if you have an iPhone gives you the option to, when you're taking a picture, you can scroll, you get panoramic view, you can, take a slow-mo video maybe. And then there's also a square option. And that square option is the best option for Instagram because you don't have to crop it. And so with this picture, I took it on a camera, so it's not a square, but it's set up pretty nicely where this is now in the middle and I can post it. Another thing I can do is this button down here that looks like multiple pages, is I can add multiple pictures. So let's say I'm at a canvassing event. There's a great picture of me and Susan hanging out, but then there's also a really great picture of someone talking to a potential voter. I want to post both of those pictures, and so I'll click this button here and I'll get both of those pictures in the same post, and I don't have to post separate posts for that. So from here, oh, and last thing, this button right here will show you the original size of the picture, and so that looks weird. You don't want to post it like that. You want to make sure you're posting 1-to-1, which is a square. Don't worry about the numbers because you won't see that anyway. All right, and so we're posting this picture. It's great. Just like Facebook, we get options to edit. Is this gonna load? Okay, maybe not. We get options to edit the picture, so we can put a filter on it. We can add adjustments. Look, you don't have to if you don't want to. And that's all I'll say about filters, because I feel like most of us know what a filter does. But just for clarity, this is probably not a very nice filter to add to this picture. So we want to be cognizant of making sure that we're, again, staying with an appealing look to our Instagram page. And so we want to upload this just the way that it is. I'll hit the next. And then from here, I can tag people. So let's say I want to tag, I'm going to tag Bria. I am Bria. I follow Bria. Boom. I've now tagged Bria right here because she was somewhere in this building and I want her to see that she's in this picture. And tagging is a great way, again, to tag people who were actually at the event, but to also tag maybe a local representative or your Senate member, whoever, and let them know what you're doing. So you're out here, you're trying to flip the vote. You're out here, you're trying to secure democracy. Let them know. Kind of spark a fire underneath them. Let them know that everyone really cares about what they do because they are representatives and they should be representing us, and tag them in whatever you're doing. So you're letter writing, tag them. You're going to New Hampshire to canvass, tag the New Hampshire Senate if you want to. But make sure that you're actually tagging people when it is necessary. And so in the caption, we want to keep a short, brief caption. Super brief, right? Or I guess in this case, we're going to put.
Can you show again, how did you tag? On the lower
Yeah,
left?
so-
Is that the?
Yep, you can click this button right here and you can tag people, which I already tagged one person, or you can click onto the picture and you can tag people there. Wow, I really don't follow swing left. This is terrible. Boom. And so you can type and tag that way. And then in our caption, canvassing for the 2022 elections, hashtag swing left. I don't want to confuse the algorithm. Hashtag swing left. Hashtag secure. Ooh, no spaces in hashtags, don't forget. Lord. Hashtag secure democracy, not used very often. So a lot of people probably are going to see this post. And then hashtag, give me a random hashtag, anyone. Oh, you're muted.
Canvassing.
Hashtag canvassing. Ooh, that's gonna be a good one. Yeah, so hashtag canvassing has over 34,000 posts. It's a great one to use because people will likely click it and see who's canvassing in their area, maybe, maybe not, and they'll see this picture. And we can probably post maybe about 7, 8 more if we wanted to, but nothing's gonna be too accurate to this picture. So we'll kind of leave this just the way it is. Does anyone have any questions?
I think we need to come back with questions after we've tried doing this, you know? We
That
could
would
have
be great too.
another session after we've tried these things.
Mhm. So
Doug has a few questions in the chat.
Yeah, I was going to say, I see Doug said, is there equivalent of DM or other way of communicating directly to someone who put up a specific post? Yes. So a tag is not a way to communicate directly with a specific person, but it is a way to tag that specific person. So you're not in communications with them. Like I can tag Obama all day and he probably still won't see me. But I can also DM him. I can't, but I could also DM him. And that is a direct communication. So let me throw this Vote Blue 2022 in here before we head out of this. 2022. Let's see how many of those. Oh, good. And you see how there's different types of hashtags for posts. Some people want to put a bunch of blue waves. That's fine. You can do whatever you want to do. Just try to remain consistent again in your post. So I want to make note one more thing in this before we click out of it, or I guess two more. If you are somewhere that is of importance, so let's say you're at the Rhode Island State House, we want to put that here. We want to put that in the location. And my internet is very slow. So we want to put Rhode Island State House in the location. And we want to do that because just like hashtagging can find certain posts, so can a location. And I honestly feel as though most people are actually going to find something based on a location rather than a hashtag. It might be 50-50, but I guess I tend to find more posts in a location. Additionally, and I strongly encourage this because I'm all about accessibility, if you can, try to write alt text. And so and Instagram will tell you here, alt text describes your photos for people who are visually impaired. And so in this photo, I would say marina with palladium, I don't know what that type of building, with red tiling in the back, open ocean marina, etc. And it's a really great tool to use, again, for those who are potentially visually impaired, and it will be automatically created for any photo that you have. It's automatically created, but if you wanted to add an additional piece to that creation, you can. And so if I wanted to put, I don't know, buoys floating in the water, the alt text might not have captured that, but I wanted to make sure that I captured that because that might be important to me. You don't have to play around with that too much. I just want everybody to know that it is there for accessibility, and it is really important. Okay, I'm gonna exit out of this so I can show you DMs. And Instagram's gonna be mad at me. I'm gonna discard this post because we don't need to post it. Okay, so we're back to our Instagram page. And we want to go to our DMs. So here are our DMs right here. We can see, we can talk to different folks and in our DMs. And, here's Pat Jalen. We probably tagged her in a post. And then she might have maybe responded in a direct message saying, thanks for tagging me. And now I'm in direct communication with her. But again, I probably can't message Obama and expect a direct reply, but I can be in communication with other folks. So if someone tags us in a picture, again, we're Swing Blue Alliance, and Bria Gambrell tags a picture, hashtag Swing Blue Alliance, and also adding Swing Blue Alliance. Swing Blue Alliance is now going to get a message sent to them saying that they were tagged in a post, as long as that person was public. So I am not public, sorry. And so Swing Blue Alliance would not get a direct message saying that I tagged them in a post, but if I was public, they would get a message, and then they could respond that way. So that brings me to my last point. I would encourage you, if you do create an Instagram page, to engage in followers. And so if Swing Blue Alliance created an Instagram page, I want to follow them, and I would want for Swing Blue Alliance to also follow me back so I can post and they can repost some of my posts as well. So if I'm out canvassing in June in New Hampshire, I'm going to tag Swing Blue Alliance because I'm going to be canvassing with them, and they'll be able to direct message me and vice versa. That was a lot of information about messaging, I guess. Is there any questions about messaging, hashtags, posts?
So I have a question. I canvassed last weekend for Abigail Spanberger, but it was with Beyond Arlington. So I could upload the photo, our group photo, hashtag Beyond Arlington, which is the organization, or at Blue Arlington, Beyond Arlington. And as I can also tag Abigail Spanberger so she sees that we are supporting her over the canvas.
Yep.
And then hashtag something like
Canvassing.
midterm elections Spanberger or something like that.
Yeah. So with hashtags, you probably don't want to create one. You might just want to try to find one. And that's what I was trying to show in that post. So when you go to hashtag something, it'll give you a drop down.
Huh?
And so hashtag canvassing 2022.
Right. Okay.
but maybe not canvassing for Stanberg 2022, because it might not be a post that's or a hashtag that's already created.
Or make Virginia Blue 2022.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. Thank you for that demonstration.
Yeah. Any other questions? And I would totally be happy to, if you want to save some questions for after you try to revisit this. And I will be timely, and because I won't be voting that day. And so if folks wanted to, you know, come back to this and bring up some questions that they might have, but definitely play around in it. If you really are interested in seeing what Instagram has to offer, check it out. There's no harm in it.
Hey, Bria, a quick question. If you have an Instagram account, is the only way that you can close it is through their customer service? You can't just close it like you do with Facebook or Twitter?
No, actually, I think you can, like, if you wanted to delete it, is that what you're saying?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think you could delete it by going to settings. Ooh, trying to hide all this information. Going to settings and then, hold on 1 second. Yeah, if you go to settings and then you go to privacy and security, you should be able to delete. Yeah, no, you're able to delete an account.
Oh, okay, cool. Then we can play. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Bria, thank you. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, I have a question.
This is the
So
last one.
I post a lot. Thanks, Susan. I post a lot of things on Facebook, and I noticed that sometimes it gets into my Instagram account, and sometimes it doesn't. The first one is not a recommended way. You post to Facebook, then let it automatically go to the Instagram, or should you just not
Yeah,
rely?
no, that's a great question. So I was actually showing you the Mass Now Instagram account, and I, you know, that's like my second family. So I held a quick training with them, and what we figured out was that our Facebook, our appeal on Facebook was not the same appeal on Instagram. And so we actually found that we kind of needed to recreate a few of our Instagram posts to really garner the attention of our Instagram community and keep, you know, Facebook and Instagram separate. At the same time, if it was a really big event that we were doing, we would cross-populate. So we would post to both Instagram and Facebook. I would recommend, while you're getting started, do both. Just have it, you know, integrated to where if you post on one, you post on both. And then when you've been doing this for a while, you kind of figure out that, like, okay, maybe the same people who follow me on Instagram aren't really too interested about the same things I'm posting on Facebook, and you switch it up. But you definitely have to try it first.
Right now, it automatic. Sometimes I can't read. I don't even know how
Oh,
it happens. It automatically take what I post on Facebook into my Instagram account. That's what's kind of weird about it.
oh. You might have to visit or send a help desk ticket to Instagram or to Facebook, because there should be a button there that you're able to click in order to say what you do and don't want to cross-populate.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Bria. Really appreciate it. And thanks for offering to come back. And hopefully we can do that after we're practiced a little bit more. Have
Yeah.
a great rest of your day, everybody.
Thank you all
And-
so much. I appreciate it.
All
Thanks a
right,
lot,
take
Nell.
care. Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye.